Hello YouTube fam, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. So today I am running you guys through a little update on my cut or my fat loss phase that I'm going through right now. So in a vlog from maybe a couple videos ago, I talked a little bit about how I was starting, what my goal was, what the thought process was with going into this. I showed you guys a little bit how I was eating. So I'm going to update you guys. So in this video, I'm going to show you guys a little bit of a body update on what happened in my first 2 to 3 weeks. I'm going to have to go back and calculate to see if it's been 2 or 3 weeks. So number one is also that first week, I think I was trying to stick at around 1900 calories. And the week before that too, about 1900 calories, because I was trying to figure out right now with the physical activity that I'm doing where my body is and in terms of maintenance calories. So I wanted to figure out what amount of calories per day was actually my maintenance, and that ended up being, I think, somewhere around 1900. So once I figured that out, I saw that my body was comfortable at 1900, not much was happening. I decided to lower it down to 1800 because, like I said in the previous video, I want this to be slow and steady. I don't want anything drastic. But in the last 2 weeks, like I said, we're starting to see some progress. So I've lost about 1 pound of fat so far, which is not huge by any means, but when you're doing it so slowly, it makes sense. I'm thinking I would like to be somewhere around about a pound of fat loss every 2 weeks, which is a slow but good amount for me. So with that being said, that is where I'm at right now. I'm eating at 1800 right now. I'm going to do that this week. I'm going to continue to do that next week. And then I might try to drop down to 1700 and then see how that goes. So it's just, like I said, it's a learning process. I'm trying to get to know my body better, understand my body better, challenge myself physically, but mostly mentally, just to want to sort of build that discipline to be able to get through this. So that's where we're at right now. All right, so one more thing that I want to run you guys through today is how I'm actually keeping track of my progress. So I'm taking progress photos, I'm obviously taking progress videos because I'm going to be sharing some of them with you, and I am also using a scale. So I'm not using just a regular scale because I want more information than that. I want to get to know my body a little bit better and see what's actually happening. So I'm using a body analyzer scale, which tells me, yes, the weight, but it tells me body fat to muscle ratio. It's telling me muscle mass, water amount. It gives you just a lot more information. With that being said, I do want to say that it is not 100% accurate. Never. Like, none of those scales are ever 100% accurate. It doesn't matter how expensive it is or how fancy it might be. It's never 100% accurate, but what it is reliable. So that means that although the numbers might not be exact, it is very consistent with the numbers that it gives you. So that means that it is good for tracking progress. So I'm going to show you guys. This is the one that I'm using. So I got it from Amazon. Super affordable. I'm going to be linking it in the description box below. So when you step on, what it actually does is that it transmits all of your information that it measures to an app straight on your phone. And then you have on that app, you have like your variance day to day. You can see exactly how things are changing. And it's just really cool. So I actually weigh myself every single morning. So I wake up, I pee, I weigh myself almost butt naked every single morning just to get a good idea of where my body's at. Now, to a lot of people that might seem really excessive to weigh yourself every single morning. Once again, it's all about your mindset and how you're thinking when you're going into it. So I don't weigh myself every single morning because I expect to gain or lose fat one day to the next. That is not what it is. I weigh myself every single morning because I would much rather take a weekly average of all my weigh-ins and track my progress week to week like that. Because if you just decide, let me do it every single Wednesday morning for however long, what if the Tuesday night before you went out and you had a drink or you ate something that was more high in salt or whatever, and then your number might not be very accurate the next morning? Well, then that throws you off for your entire week, and then the next week you might notice a big difference. And so I think it's just much easier to weigh yourself every single morning, take an average, and then that tends to be a little bit more accurate representation of what your body's actually doing that week. Once again, it's very personal, it's very individual. If to you think that might be obsessive, then don't do it. but I think if you can sort of try to work your mindset around simply using it as a tool and as information and as numbers that are simply going to help direct you in what you're doing instead of define you, then I think it can be really helpful.
So here I show you guys what the app actually looks like on your phone. So here you can see that there was the graph showing the difference, and then if you select the date, here was the 25th. You can see that I was at 136.4 pounds and at 22.7% body fat. And then I can go back on the 10th and see the difference now down to 135 and 22.5% body fat. So it's a great tool to have to help you stay updated. So here I'm going to show you guys the body update. So obviously 1 pound is not a very big difference, but for me, the thing that I do notice a little bit is that the area around my waist is getting a little tighter, a little smaller, and that for me is normal. It is always the first place that I lose fat. That is just genetically how it works for me. But otherwise, the changes are small as they're expected to be because it takes much, much longer than 2 weeks to see drastic results.
Alright guys, so before I end today's video, I'm going to walk you guys through my leg workout for the day. So this is the kind of leg workout that I've been doing every single week. It's actually exactly one of the leg workouts that I've been doing every single week for a few weeks now. So this is my glute and hamstring focused leg day, and I hope you guys enjoy it. And also don't forget, if you did enjoy this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for the rest of my cut series and many more videos to come. Thank you guys and enjoy the workout.
All right, exercise number 1 for both of my leg days during the week has been the Bulgarian split squat. I have chosen to put this exercise first because with the limited weights that I have, this is the best way that I can challenge my body. It is the most difficult exercise of my leg days at the moment, so I'm putting it first to give it everything I have and to be able to get the most benefit out of this. For this, make sure you keep your torso upright. You can lean it forward a little bit if you want to be targeting your glutes more than your quads. And then make sure that as you're going down in a slight diagonal. So you're trying to bring your bum a little bit closer to the heel that is on the bench. Make sure to do your best to not push up with the leg that is on the bench. It is simply there for positional purposes and for balance. I have chosen to superset the Bulgarian split squats with slow calf raises. So I do about 3 seconds up, I hold a second, and then I do 3 seconds down. I chose to put this exercise with the Bulgarian split squats because it allows my quads, hamstrings, and glutes to rest a little bit longer, which is great considering that the Bulgarian split squats is the most difficult exercise I do. And also because my calves is an area that is a weakness for me at the moment, especially after having an injury for many, many years to my left knee. It's been neglected, so this is something that I'm also trying to work on improving at the moment. Alright, moving on to superset number 2. So the first exercise is sumo squats. So I'm holding my dumbbells in the front rack position like this because it's what allows me to have the heaviest weight at the moment. And it would also work your core a lot. My core was dying by the end of this set. So here you want to have your feet wider than shoulder width and also turn your toes towards the outside a little bit to get that sumo position, which is going to target your glutes and your inner thigh a little bit more. Also make sure that the entire time you have your spine in a neutral position. Do not allow your low back to arch. To make sure that you keep your core contracted the entire time and try to keep your torso as upright as possible to avoid any back pain.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm already dying and we're only halfway through. But it's okay, it's a good one. Definitely a good one.
Exercise number 2 of the superset is Swiss ball hamstring curls. I absolutely love this exercise. I think it is one of the best exercises for your posterior chain because you need to have your glutes activated to keep your body up, your core needs to be activated, and your hamstrings are obviously working very, very hard. So with this, once again, make sure your core is contracted throughout. You do not want your back to arch at all. You want your glutes to keep your bum high and focus on bringing those heels in. Moving on to superset number 3, starting it off with Romanian deadlifts. And as with most exercises, guys, please make sure once again your core is contracted, your spine is neutral. It is another exercise where it's very easy to compress your spine and get low back pain if it is not done properly. Focus on lowering the weights if you need to until your form is properly done. I want you to make sure that instead of focusing on lowering your chest down, that you want to be hinging at your hips. So notice how I'm pushing my butt back against the wall and then squeezing my glutes to come back up. So it is really your glutes and hamstrings that are doing the work and not your back. And exercise number 2 for the superset is to target the glute med, which is the outer portion of our glutes. Really important to add this to your leg days. It is really good for function. It's going to keep your lower body healthy, helps your knees, helps your ankle, helps your hips stay nice and stable, and of course it helps give your butt that nice rounded look. And as you can see, it clearly kills, so definitely give this one a try if you haven't yet. And we're finishing off the workout with the glute burnout. So I did these single leg wall hip thrusts. I did one leg at a time. I started off at 12 reps. I did 12 on each side, then right away 10 on each side, 8, 6, 4, all the way down to 2. So no rest in between except for obviously each leg rests when I'm doing the other one. But by the end, my glutes were on fire. Love adding little burnout exercises at the end of my workouts like this. That's it. Hope you enjoyed. See you guys next time.